All right, Needle Dicks. Week 1 is in the books for the Newark Fantasy Cows. As expected, I took away the highest score of the week with 167.8 points. No surprise there. Monster performances all around. My team is already in championship form. I went ahead and beat Kirch, which is not the gimme it once was. He actually put up a really good week, third highest points overall, which is pretty impressive considering he retarded his way into a kicker and a defense that put up a combined 35 points when I believe he picked them up Friday night, Saturday morning, sometime way too late to get that kind of performance. Unfortunately for Kirch, Todd Gurley is a clear bust, so I would recommend just going and get him out of your lineup now. You probably want to drop him or maybe trade for any value you can get out of him. I don't know. It's just very unfortunate, of course. Kirch will be playing Becker, who's coming off a loss, which is the kind of thing that happens when your star running back, tight end, and defense combine for 3.1 points, which coincidentally is exactly what his star running back, Adrian Peterson, put up by himself. Makes it really tough to win that way. Hopefully, going forward, Drew Brees will get a new contract every week so that we can keep putting up a monster performance. Because you're going to need it with Keenan Allen already being out for the year. That is absolutely tough. Becker lost to Hoofy, who was fueled by Larry Fitzgerald, who apparently just won't die. I'd love to make a joke about him not being able to sustain it, but apparently he can. He's a freak of nature, full of horse DNA. And Hoofy's showing a lot of restraint, not taking the trade offer from Myco for Sterling Shepard. I know you want to, buddy, but you stay strong. Hoopy's going to be going and playing Mikey T, and he'll be kicking a cripple this week. Mikey T had the absolute biggest loss of week 1, with Gronk out on what I can only assume is a party-related injury. Gronk is questionable now, and Mikey T, of course, is immediately inserting him back into his lineup, despite Julius Thomas giving the second highest tight end performance of week 1. So we'll see how that works out for him. He's going to need the help, though, because Sammy Watkins only put up 4 points last night in the Thursday night game, which is not what you want out of your best wide receiver. Well, theoretically best wide receiver. Mikey T lost to Smith, who had an absolute huge game, second highest points in week 1, 165 and change. Really great all-around game. Steelers' performance really helped out Matt with D'Angelo Williams, who apparently is like bathing in goat placenta and not letting age affect him. Unfortunately, Le'Veon Bell comes back at some point, so hopefully Matt can get the value out of him while he can. And of course, Antonio Brown, fueled by the success of his ESPN commercial, put up a huge week. So that's good stuff. He'll be playing Myco and hopefully taking a win. I'd love to see Myco take a loss early. Always makes for good television. Myco making some adjustments after a fairly close win, actually, in week 1. Benching Ware after 32.9 points, but leaving Shepard in with his 13-point week 1 performance. So I don't know if maybe he knows something he knows. Probably playing the matchup. Ware's going to be tough against Houston. We'll see what happens there. Or maybe he just really believes in Sterling Shepard. Maybe you should take that trade, Brian. Michael clearly knows something. Michael beat Mark, who wins the highest number of moderate performances from team members. And of course, after that happening, Mark has made absolutely no adjustments. That'll be great as he goes ahead and plays Pat, who had a pretty strong win. One on the back of A.J. Green, who had a monster performance. 37 points, absolutely huge. And Pat is not putting Theoretic in, despite having a pretty strong game himself. You know what, Pat? I don't blame you. I probably wouldn't put Theoretic in either. He beat Eric, who had the absolute most points on the bench. And unfortunately for Eric, those points belong on the bench. A lot of lackluster players who apparently just had good games. And you're in rough shape because I've already dropped 30.9 on you with Forte alone last night. So I'm looking forward to seeing you with an 0-2 start. I'm going to try to do a better job this year of keeping everyone up to breath on prop bets. As I mentioned earlier, I had the highest number of points in week 1. I also had the best quarterback performance with Andrew Luck in 44.5. Running back went to Eric, and coming out of Johnson. There were actually a number of running backs higher than that, but they were either people that weren't doing the prop bet, or they weren't actually in the starting lineup where you need to be to actually count towards the props, as we established last year. So 23.2 points out of Johnson. Clearly won't stay as the high scored running back for the year, so that's definitely the easiest bar to beat. Highest scoring wide receiver, Pat's got that one locked up with AJ Green for the time being, 37 even. Mikey T has the highest tight end performance with 17.4 out of Julius Thomas. Now Doyle out of Indiana actually had a higher performance, but no one had him, and for some reason you idiots no one picked him up. So he's on my bench now. So we'll see what happens. I've now got the 1 and 3 top scoring tight ends from week 1, so that's pretty awesome. Defense and special team, Mark has that one with Seattle actually, so good for you, Mark. 11 points, that will not stand for sure. Also has the highest kicker performance with 17 out of Dan Bailey. So that's actually a bit more formidable. Biggest win. Matt actually had the biggest win, but he's not doing the prop bet. So so Pat gets the nod for that so far. 42.4 points over Eric, who unfortunately, despite getting beaten soundly, does not have the prop bet for largest margin of defeat. That goes to Mikey T, who was beat by 61 by Matt. And then most bench points was a landslide. Eric had that with 112.3. So that's actually a lot of points on the bench. So maybe that will stand. Who knows? But anyway, guys, that's what I've got for this recap. I hope you deplorables have a wonderful weekend. I will see you in the win column. Peace.